What every map truly needs are gameplay elements. So now let's turn to the inventory of the player and let's equip him with Blackjack first. So right click in 2D view and create an entity. Now we need to go to the weapons folder and select melee and Blackjack. Make sure this Blackjack is located inside of the brushes in all dimensions. Then with this Blackjack selected, go to the Entity tab and give it the property INV, which stands for inventory underscore map underscore start, and give it the value 1, which stands for true in this case. Click this check mark to apply it. Now if we want to add inventory that is stackable or that has a specifiable amount, like arrows for example, we need to add another property. Now let's add water arrow and give it the property inventory map start 1. It's actually there, so we can just click on here and it gets applied. Now add another property, which is INV underscore ammo underscore amount, and then as much water arrows or arrows that you would like the player to have from the start. I will give him 2. Now another important point is locking doors. To do this, you exclusively select the door and give it the property locked and the value 1, which again is true, so this door is now locked. Of course, we also want the door to be used by a key, so to do this we give it the property used underscore by, and then we need to write a name for a key that we will add later and remember that name. So I call it key 1. Apply it and escape to deselect. Now let's add a key that opens the door. So we create an entity and go to the keys folder here. Add it to the map. Again, make sure it's not inside the empty space or the map will crash. So this key, of course, its name has to be key 1. So we change the name property here, click to apply, and now this door will be opened by this key. Now what would also be cool is to just bind this key to this AI like he wears it on his belt or something. So to do this, exclusively select this AI and click on the name property and then copy this name because we will need it later on. Then select this key and give it a property bind, and the value will be the name of this AI, and it is convenient that it is still there because it was the property we last selected. Click this box to apply, and then you also need to give it another property to bind it to his hips like he wears it on his belt. And this property is called bind to joint. Mind that it is case sensitive here, so this is important. And the value of this property is left hips underscore dummy. Again, be careful with the lower and larger case. Click to apply. And the last thing we need to do here is move the key to the position that it's actually on the belt here. And we can actually go to another mode with the W key, and then we can more precisely position this object by just clicking on the arrows, and then it will just go in this dimension. This is a little bit complicated. Just scroll so near you need to, and then also it's nicer to rotate it a little bit like this. Make the grid size finer and then move it until it is visible. I think this is okay for now. You can be more careful with that. Now let's make this AI go on a patrol route. This is really important in the Thief games and also for the Dark mod. Let's say we want this AI to wait for a few seconds before it goes on a route. And we do this by creating an entity in the paths folder here. And as I said, we want it to wait for in the beginning, then we need to add a path wait entity. And then when we want him to go on a patrol route, we need the entity is called path corner. Can just add it here, just change its position. I just click the W key again to go back to resize mode so we can freely move it. And then you see it's not really on the ground. That could lead to problems. So let's just position this path corner on the ground. Go over here and click floor selection. Now it is touching the ground. And then just press the space bar to copy it. And then just make some path corners along the path you want the AI to go. Like that. Now we need to connect all these path entities. So we start with the first path entity and copy its name. And then while we're here, we can give it a wait property with a number in seconds how long the AI should wait when it reaches this path entity. I would say 5 seconds in this case. And so apply this, then only select the AI and give it a property with the name target. The value is the name of the next entity, which was path wait, which we copied. Then click here to apply, and you will notice that there is now an arrow leading to this first path entity. And now we can just continue doing that for the next entities. So we select the next entity in this succession and copy the name. Then select the previous element and give it a property target with the name. Actually, I don't need to paste it into because it's still there. This is convenient. Click to apply and the arrow will lead to this entity. Now we can make it easier because the next entities are all of the same kind and they are named path corner 1, path corner 2, path corner 3. So we don't need to copy the names, we just can change the last number here and then it will connect to the next element. So actually that's the last one, so it needs to be reconnected to the first one. And this is the patrol route of the AI. Now we can add some loot to this map. So we create an entity, choose the loot folder, and I will just, for this map, I will use a painting that you can steal, because I think it could look nice. Like that. And then of course, the last really important gameplay element are objectives. Let's say the objective is to steal this painting over here. We need the name later on, so copy this name here. Then go to the map menu and click on objectives. This will open up the objectives editor. Click on add. And this adds an objective entity to the map. Then over here, click add again. Click on this new objective and click on edit. The description here is actually something that you will read in game, so give it really appropriate name, like steal the painting. And for this purpose we can leave it as it is, but down here in the components we need to add a component. Click on it, change its type to player possesses item. It should be given the name of a single entity, and of course now we can just paste the name we copied. When everything is done here, click OK. OK, and save the map. And go ahead, test it and see if everything is working. Now you can steal this key from the AI. And you see we have an inventory of 2 water arrows. With the key we can open the door, go through the hallway, then open this door, which is not locked, and steal this painting to complete the mission.